Now you can imagine my surprise to this, because in my head I'm thinking, hang on a minute, you've had the car for not even a week and you're willing to give up £1,400 for effectively hiring a car for 5 days. I mean, just crazy. I mean, it is, honestly, it is just crazy. This video is sponsored by Vehicle Score. Vehicle Score is a free vehicle checking service which you can visit by going to vehiclescore.co.uk. Simply type in a registration number and you will get a unique score to your vehicle. You can compare your score to the average in Vehicle Score's database. It's full of free useful information such as a mileage tracker history. It gives you a comprehensive breakdown of your MOT history for things like advisories and also wear and tear items. It gives you performance data, an estimated valuation, an estimated lifespan of the vehicle compared to others like it. It's full of free useful information. Also as well, they also have their 2 new features, including the new car insurance tip section to help you save money on your next car insurance quote, and their new AI mechanic, which will help you if you have any issues with a car, trying to diagnose any faults or common issues you might be having with a particular vehicle. But it doesn't end there, because Vehicle Score also offer their paid checks. These checks start from less than a cup of coffee and will check to see things like if your vehicle has ever been involved in an accident, whether it's been written off by an insurance company to a Category N or a Category S. Maybe it's an unrecorded write-off, so it's gone for a salvage auction and you weren't aware of it. It'll also check to see if your vehicle's ever been imported or exported, ever been used as a taxi, has outstanding finance. They offer some of the most comprehensive checks out there, and all this information is assured with their £10,000 data guarantee. The paid checks are some of the most comprehensive priced out there, and it gets better because you guys get a discount. Simply use the promo code CARUK20 to get 20% off any of those paid checks. But remember guys, the basic service is completely free and it's constantly evolving. So make sure you download the Vehicle Score app, get yourself over to vehiclescore.co.uk and give them a try. Hi there, welcome back to Car UK and to here at the car pitch in Cheshire. So what has been happening over the last sort of 7 to 10 days? Now in my last video, update video, we had a quick chat basically about how we thought we maybe just turned a corner, and prior to that things were really glum. We had a very decent April. May started off okay, but by the mid-May it really dropped off a cliff. Actually getting quite concerned at one point that sales were drying up, and it wasn't just for us, it was seen to be sort of quite locally as well, maybe nationally really. There was a bit of a down in the trade. Things were really sort of turning a little bit sour. Now for us, luckily, over the last week or so, things have greatly improved. We're getting more responses to adverts, we've got people coming on the pitch, and crucially, we've been selling cars. So I'm going to show you what we've been selling, and also do a bit of an update around the pitch, because we've had a lot of stuff come in, new stuff that's coming online as well. So I'm going to have a chat as well about new stuff that's come on, and other stuff that's sold and away. And also talk about a vehicle, which for the last month or so, we have sold now. This is the second time we've sold this car, and it's now back again. And I have to say, the car that I've actually made quite a bit of money out of, inadvertently. It's a very strange story. It seems to be the case here. We always seem to get very strange events. But anyway, I should go through that story with you later, although we will briefly talk about it as we mention the cars in question and how I come about basically buying the same car back, which I've already sold twice, and ended up with not only a nice profit from it, but also another car as well as part of the deal. Very strange. Anyway, let's go and have a look around the pitch. Right, let's have a quick look on the pitch. We'll go inside first, actually, do the workshop, cover what's in here. Actually, a couple of cars that have sold, so this is worth talking about. Nissan Duke, we bought this from G3 Motor Auction a few weeks ago. Those of you who watch the channel regular, this was bought with a Qashqai and a Clio. Clio's off at paint, Qashqai's on sale, and the Duke got on sale early last week. Now, sold this to a customer midweek, so we actually had a couple of sales before that, beginning of the week actually. We actually had an Alfa Romeo last Saturday we sold, which I'll talk to you about in a minute, that's still on site. Then we sold the i10, which is what the store is about, I'll tell you about later. We also sold a red 207, which was in the corner, which was a sale and return car we had basically for my old landlord. He puts the odd one on, and we sold that. It was a nice car. And we also sold this midweek as well. Customer came down, well actually it was sent someone else down actually, I think it was a relative, and they bought the car. Bought the car for a lady who's having it, so a subscriber to the channel. Nice thing this, managed to get it all sorted, been for the workshop, and we're just now fettling it off. It just wants service doing to it. We're going to put some rear brakes on it, just a few other little bit knickknacks as well want doing to it. We're going to sort out as well. So hopefully we get that turned around tomorrow, and hopefully get it out to the customer this week. That is the plan on that one. $37.95 taken on it as well, so it's a good result. Not making fortunes out of it, but it's a good solid car, nice thing. We got the paint done on it as well, it had all the door done, just come up really, really well and turned into a nice car in the end. and like I said, good value as well. We price it sensibly, and it sold straight away, so which is good news. Also, the little C1, blue C1, I bought this actually a private sale at the gate. So a man drove onto the pitch, just said, do you want to buy this C1? He didn't know me on the channel or anything, he was just a local guy, he was just basically going around the garages. Most people wouldn't buy a car of that age, the dealers around here, because they're selling more expensive vehicles, and it's a touch mileagey. It's actually done 117. However, because we know these so well, as long as they're solid underneath, the engines are pretty bulletproof. So it was worth a gamble, and they are really good news, these, and I've seen these with big miles on, still going strong. So the mileage wouldn't worry me, and again, as long as it's priced sensibly. The bodywork on it, I mean, it's got no trims on it at the moment, so it looks ridiculous, but it has got a set of trims on it. But actually, when the car was, I've put a picture actually here so you can see what it was like when it was on sale. It's a nice presentable thing, clean bodywork on it, drives superb, just a nice old little C1, very solid car. We've just been doing a bit of fettling on it today. We've had new brakes on the back, so all the new fitting kits on it and shoes and whatnot, because it wanted all the handbrake doing. Also done all the undersealing, as you can see there, so we're just finishing all that off. And that's pretty much it really. So we're going to put trims back on, a couple of tyres on it, do a service tomorrow, and it can go off to MOT. So that's a nice car for someone there, little first time car, dead cheap to run. We love selling the C1s and the iGos and 107s. In fact, we've sold another 107 as well, which we'll talk about in a sec. Fiat 500, that is just going through prep at the moment. We've just put a new rear axle on that. So it's brand new rear axle, shockers, all the pipes, the usual stuff we do. We're waiting on a steering wheel for it, because it's cream ivory and they always fade, and this one's quite bad. It's got a big chunk out the side of it, looks like a dog's had a go at it, so we need to I've ordered one of those, and also a few little plasticky bits as well want redoing. They're all just starting to peel, which I've never seen that on these before, but we're going to take them off. We've got Plastec on them, redo those, and then whack them back on and get it all cleaned up. So we've got that to do as well. Zafira back from paint. This has had a ruck paint done to it, so it I don't we mention this on the channel before? I think we may have covered it. I bought this from a dealer locally. 17 plate 1.4 petrol turbo Zafira. Will I retail it? Will I won't retail it? I'm not sure yet. I'm not a fan of the 1.4 turbo petrol, to be honest with you. This one's driving fine. In fact, I did use it actually for a few jobs because they put all the seats down in it, and now my valet is just going through the motions of cleaning it. But we're going to get in the workshop after we've cleaned it because it is quite bad inside. So we're going to clean it all up first and then get it in the workshop and check it over properly. I bought it handy money, so I can effectively trade out of it anyway. I can make a profit out of it without having to retail it. But if it stands up to an inspection, we'll do it. So we'll come back to that probably next week and see how we get on with that one. But hopefully we can retail it because it's 7-seater Tourer and they are good news. But I say we'll come back to that next week, see how we get on with that, because I've not made a full decision whether I'm going to retail it. I might maybe just trade it on, make a quick profit on it. Anyway, moving on, we've also sold the 107, which is here. Little 63 plate. We had this I bought from the auction a few weeks ago, so this was a nice one, tidy thing. Just not a little bit of a clean up on it. Ordered some new trims for it, shoved them on, and that was pretty much it, to be fair. Little low mileage, 50,000 miler. Put it up for sale last week, and guy came Saturday, bought it for his son, took it for a test drive, loved it, and he said they're coming tomorrow hopefully to pick that up. So it's great news. Low mileage, free road tax. That is a car you can run for a good fair few years. You're going to get a lot of usage out of, and dead cheap to run. And like I said, past its ticket today, no issues. It's a well looked after little car. Other things we sold the Alpha and Males we mentioned the other week, although I just noticed the birds just crapped all over it, so I'm going to have to dry that. I'm going to have to wash that off before I go. 1.6 diesel, nice thing this, although it has gave me a few issues, and I know people are going to say, I told you it's an Alpha, what are you doing? It's going to burn your hand. It's not burnt her hand, but it has put up a little bit of a fight. First of all, which is not really the car's fault, we had to put a cam belt situation on it. That's delayed it going out, which is a bit odd really, because it really didn't necessarily would have needed a cam belt had it not been done far too early by the previous owner. So he's got service history with this. He's got good history actually, and for some reason someone has had the cam belt done. We should have been done about 50,000-60,000 miles on these, and someone's done it at like low 30 odd thousand miles. So it's just now when it's on 80,000 miles, it's coming round again for a belt, and obviously it got picked up by the customer. We checked it over because we always check belts, because regardless what they say in the manual, someone ticks a box and says the cam belt's been done. You'd be surprised how many haven't been done. So we always check them, and it was really aged, so it wasn't about to fall off, but you could tell it hadn't been done for a long time. It wasn't original, but it hadn't been done for a long time. So we thought, right, well, we need to do a belt on it because it was starting to get little cracks in it, and it was aging and it needed doing. So Bit of a shame for us, but great for the customer. But nonetheless, it needs doing. It needs doing. It needs doing. So we sorted that out, but obviously that took time to get it sorted. We had to get toolkits for it and stuff like that, and arrange for it to be done. So anyway, that's been done now, and then we've just about got it MOT'd, got some all new tyres on it, got it serviced, everything's going great. And then we realised, I even sorted out the temp sensor as well, because that was playing up and giving like wrong temperatures, saying it was like -2. And did all that, and then realised that the connectivity phone system wasn't working in the car. So we did the final checks, we realised it wasn't working. So the phone system doesn't work, and it causes the mileage to flash on the dash. It's just a bit of a pain. So I had to basically now take the connective system module out of the car, which is under the glove box, and then we had to send it away today. Quick turnaround to be repaired. We know a company that repairs them. A couple of days we'll have that back and we can get it back in the car, and then finally we can get the Alfa Romeo out to the customer, which we've been very patient with as well. But I mean, it drives lovely. No fault of the car. The mechanical side of it's been a doddle. So hopefully we get that back this week and get it out to the customer, and we know then it's 100% right. A new belt on it, it's all been serviced, everything's working on the car. Lovely thing. And they said, would I sell one again? Yeah, I've got no problems with selling them. And also I've learned a bit from it as well. So I'll be a little bit more experienced next time I deal with a Gilletta. Like I said, I've dealt with some of them before and the Fiat-based stuff. They don't really faze me that much, to be honest. People seem to be overreact about Italian cars, to be fair, and and how they act and stuff. To be honest with you, they're no worse than pretty much any other vehicle out there. Other Italian car that has sold today is the Fiat 500L. The Fiat 500L has sold. Did have a lot of interest in this, and I did think it would sell quicker than it did, although it hasn't only been on sale for about a week. A customer came in, another subscriber, it's been subscriber week this week, who has bought this car for his partner. 1.6 diesel, in fact it's the same engine as in the Alfa Romeo. Nice thing, lovely car. We did this video on this when we picked it up. We buffed it up. It does need paint, and it still does need paint. It's going off to paint tomorrow. Because I knew the guy was coming today, we held it back for him to have a look at. Those of you who've not seen it before, basically it's got a little mark down there. We would have usually sent that off before we put it on sale, but because we were backed up with paint, it's basically had to put it on sale as it was, and basically tell people, address the situation that if it needs, well, it will obviously wants doing, we'll do it. It will be done. You will not get the car like that. It'll be all done lovely and buffed up and and made to look like $1 million. So that's being done. Tomorrow we're going to have sent off, and then we're going to put a clutch in it as well. It's a little bit heavy. And it's a bit noticeable, to be honest, and it's only going to get worse, and it is quite common on these for heavy clutches. So we're going to get that sorted out to the customer next week. Sounds like we're doing quite a lot of work to it. It is, in fairness, but we bought it at right money. You could argue that it was cheap because it needed work. Yes, that may be the case, but for us it doesn't really matter too much. We can turn this car around, make it as best as we can, and have a nice margin out of it. We're not making fortunes, but there's enough in it. We're happy. And the customer's going to get a car that hopefully can be relied upon. Also, car sold this week is the Vauxhall Corsa. White Corsa we've had from a customer who bought the Kia Picanto, low mileage Picanto. This was his swapper. Now I was actually looking to trade this on. I wasn't going to put this on resale. It was believed possibly that it might be suffering with a coolant issue. Now anyway, we managed to resolve the issue. It just turned out to be some breather problems it was having with it, and it was also there was some leaks as well on a couple of the housings as well, and we managed to sort them out. We do on these courses anyway. Always put new temp sensors on them, new thermostat housings, new coolant flange housings. We do all them now, and also always usually change the rocker cover boxes because they always go. So we did all that, and it's been running absolutely superb. No issues, all sorted, and like I said, we've now got it sold as well. Another subscriber's bought the car. It's for his son. Came down to a lovely family, and he said we've been out on a test drive. Superb, love the car. Now we've put deposit down on it, and we can get that out hopefully this week. Doesn't really need much, that one, to be fair. I think we've got left to do on it is to change all the engine mounts. They all need changing because they're just a bit worn, and they do suffer on the 1.2s and 1 litres with dodgy engine mounts on them. So we will change all them because they're dead cheap to do. So when you lift the clutch up and sort of set off, you get a bit of a shudder, and it's the engine moving. So they're dead common on these. So we've got them to put on it. Other than that, really, everything else was done pretty much in prep, so there isn't much left to do. Quick mooch around on the front here. What else we got going on? Civic, talk about that in a sec because that'll be an interesting one. Daisy Sandero, looking well. Not had much interest on that. Usually when I have Sanderos, they fly out. They absolutely fly out because they offer really good value. Maybe because it's white. I've never had a white one. Previous to I had a black one, and I also had a red diesel one. They flew out. This white one, I don't know. But it's priced sensibly, so I'm not concerned about that. I'm sure that will sell pretty soon. Focus, back on sale now, back from paint, sorry. This has had a back bumper painted on it and a little bit down here on the archway as well. It's come back looking really, really nice. So on 11 plates, it's a facelift one before, well, so it is a facelift. The facelift changed on 2008-9 roughly. But yeah, it's a nice thing. Done decent miles. We've done 74,000 miles, I think it is, or 72,000. I should tell you now because I've got a sign here on it. Has got service history. Sorry, 76,000. 76,000 miles. My apologies. 2 former keepers, and like I said, nice thing in the nice colour in the grey. We sell these all day long. Had a bit of interest on it. And so hopefully with that will go soon. If things start to pick up, I'm sure we can get that one away. I probably gave for that one, honestly, I bought that from Aston Barclay. I probably gave a couple £100 too much for that in reality. But it's a Focus. They're good, reliable, solid vehicles. They're not something that you need to worry about when selling them. They don't give you much headaches, to be fair. So you don't mind occasionally on something like that taking a little bit less than what you would like out of it. If it's a car that's quite reliable. I do that with Igo. Sometimes I have very little money in them, but because they are such good sellers and they're so reliable, you don't mind taking a little bit less on them. Now, this Honda, took this in, again, private purchase at the gate. A local lady came in, little Polish lady, I think she was Polish anyway, and a little 1.4 petrol Civic. Now, most of these I ever buy, which isn't many, if I'm honest with you, are 1.8 petrols. They seem to have a habit on these of doing the 1.4s and 1.8s, and most of them are 1.8s. Why people bought the 1.8s over the 1.4s, I don't know. And why they never ran a 1.6 in these, I don't know either. But there you go, that's what they ran. They also did a diesel version as well, but they're very rare to get hold of. Now this one is a little bit mileage, it's done 118, but it is a Honda, and Hondas, as we know, are bulletproof. Well, not the modern ones. The modern ones fall pieces because they've got wet belts. But these old ones are pretty decent. And this drives really, really well. And you just know that it's not going to give you any problems. It's a Honda. The Hondas don't break down. So it's got really well cleaned nicely. We have had to do quite a bit to this. It came in, I saw potential in the car. And I actually had quite a bit done to it. So it was like little bits like these were all smashed to pieces. So we changed all them on them. Also as well, it had a bit of a damage down this side here. So we had, I saw you a picture, hopefully I've got a picture here, and obviously we've had that all repainted. All the trim bits were sort of hanging off as well. Again, side mirror, the indicator side repeater was broken. Did all that and just sort of buffed it all up and made it look a real car again. Money wise, well, I gave I think about £750 for it, which I was happy to pay that because I don't get many Japanese cars on. I always get asked for stuff like this, and we have had a few sniffs on it. I think the mileage has put some people off. But it is a 1995 car, you know, be really realistic. We're going to be getting from a dealer these days. But I would say, to be fair, you know, that's going to come, it will still get a warranty with it, and we'll still be servicing it, and you'll still get an MOT, and we'll still need to do whatever needs doing. But it has had a bit of work done to it prior already. Like, it's had decent tyres on it. There has a bit of services with it. Someone has been looking after it. It was just cosmetically a little bit tired and just wanted a little bit of a shaping up. Wants a couple of number plates on it as well, just to finish it off. But it's a Honda, and you know, you just know, and I've seen these with big miles on, you know that if you look after that, there is absolutely no reason why you can't get another 30, 40, 50,000 miles out of that, maybe even more, and we're still going, because they just are that good. This era, sort of 90s and 2000s Hondas with these older VTECs in, were just brilliant. I mean, these and Toyotas were the pinnacle of sort of combustion petrol engines. They didn't get any better than them. So I'm sure that will sell soon. I'm pretty confident we'll get that away. Lastly, I'll quickly wrap this up for you. Mariva, a few interests on that. Got a test drive on that tomorrow, actually, so hopefully we can get something away on there. Qashqai on sale, get a bit of interest on that one, on the 11 plates. I'm hoping that we're going to be gone soon. The FR Seat Me, I had a bit of interest on it last week, but nothing since. And it's just, I don't know, maybe I need to tweak the price on it. Maybe I need to get it out, give it a re-clean, put it back out, move it a little bit. Sometimes moving the cars around the pitch. Be amazed actually why that seems to work. I don't know why. Maybe it's just a superstition. Anyhow, this is the car that I need to talk to you about. This is the Boomerang Hyundai i10, as I'm now calling it. The Boomerang i10. Well, let me go inside because it's getting a bit windy now, and I'll talk to you about exactly what's happened and why this car has basically been earning me money for the past month or so and just keeps on giving. Right, okay, so here's a story about that i10, what has been happening and why it's been basically earning me some money. It's like almost like a premium bond, this car. Basically, I sold the Hyundai actually came originally from my actual landlord. So my landlord used to run this site. He puts the old car on now and then. And like I said, we sold the red 207. That was one of his last week. And this i10, which we sold a few weeks ago, that was another one of his cars. Like I said, he only has one or two. Now, he actually brought the i10 in. We had that put on sale, and it actually sold really quickly. And the first guy that bought the car, now he actually came out of an automatic. He'd been driving an auto for quite a length of time. And I think we did mention it on the channel briefly, actually. In an update video, we had it back. And effectively, he was struggling to cope with a manual. Just couldn't drive it. His wife, who was also using the car, couldn't drive it. So after about a week or so, when they purchased it, they came back and basically asked me what I wanted to do with it. Can they have the money back? Now, I wasn't really able to give them the money back because there's nothing wrong with the car. And without saying selfish, they don't see any reason why I should be giving the money back because there isn't anything wrong with it. But I did say, look, I'll tell you what I can do. I can resell the car for you. So basically, in effect, what we'll do is if you can, you're happy to wait for it. It could take a while. We'll put the car back on sale, the same price, no problem, and I'll charge you a small commission. Now, I have to charge a small commission because, one, I'm not a charity. I have overheads and as a business. But also, if I'm not using, I don't have much space. So you can imagine as well, look at the space we've got outside. It's hardly any. So basically, if I'm using that space up, it needs to be earning me money because I could just put another car there on my own that I could sell and make a profit out of. So it is crucial that space is at a premium. So we agreed on that, and I'll tell you what the figure was. It was £300. I said, look, if I sell a car, it's £300. Bear in mind, I've got to pay VAT out of that, so you're not even going to earn 300 quid. You're going to earn less than that. But I thought that was a fair price. So the car's been on sale for a couple of weeks, went for a little bit of a dry spell, but then things started to pick up last week. Like I said, on the Monday, we had a couple of sales, red 207 that went, and also this i10. So it sold for the second time to another couple. Now, they bought the i10 because their other car, a Peugeot 207, a black Peugeot 207, basically broken down. It was suffering of electrical fault. Without boring you, the 207s have problems with basically fuse boards or boxes. They have a BSI unit, which is underneath the glove box, and they go wrong. And you have to change them all out, fuse board on them. It's quite a common thing that happens, and it can be quite expensive, especially for a member of the public to have fixed. And they were getting quoted some silly prices, so they just decided, you know what, we're just going to buy another car. So they came here, test drove the i10, loved it. Like I said, the car drives fine. There's no issues with the car, and decided to purchase. And because the car had already been MOT'd, already been prepped, it had already been sold to the previous customer a couple of weeks ago, and it was all ready to go. So they drove away in it, no problems. I then paid out customer number one straight away. I just said, no problem, there's your money. They paid out, I got my little fee. Brilliant. I sold the car originally, we got a fee off that, and then we sold the car again, we got a fee off that. So we're doing quite well out of it so far. But then something strange happened. The first thing that happened, actually, which could work quite well for us, was the following day, customer number two, who now was driving around in the i10, came in with this Peugeot 207, the car which originally failed, which they replaced it with, the i10 with. Now, they actually got it running again, and the issue was the fuse board, and they managed to find a mobile mechanic who came, fitted another one, and got it up and running again. So, and they were asking me basically, do you want to buy it? So I was like, well, if you want me to buy it, I'll buy it. But you're probably going to be better off, obviously, selling it yourself. You're just trying to get your money back against this purchase you've made. Bear in mind, they've also paid $28.95 for this Hyundai. It's up to you. But if you want me to buy it, I'll buy it. Went out for a test drive, come back, got the book out, and basically said, look, this is what it's valuing at. This is what I can buy them at the auctions at. I think it was £700, I think it was, it booked at. I'll give you £700. To which, straight away, they went, yep, no problem. Bang, took the money straight off me. Which always worries you. But I think, to be honest with you, the fact that they've got the car up and running again, there's new fuse board in, which they have done, by the way, we have checked. Maybe they just wanted to see the back of it, move on, draw a line under it, got some cash back, say, just move on. So everything seems fine. We have no issues. We now got the Hyundai sold. We've got the first customer paid out. Customer two's got the car that they wanted, they're happy with. They've even been in and got some money back for their old car. And we've now got this 207, which you can see here, in stock, all running lovely. Like I said, been out in it, drove it, it drives absolutely spot on. All the work's been done properly. Whoever repaired it's done a perfectly good job. It's all functioning fine. Cleaned it up, didn't take long to clean up, and it's now on sale. Put it up for $19.95 retail, which is absolutely spot on for what it should be at. And I said, it looks a really decent car and drives really well. Little 1.6 diesel with cheap tax. It should fly out the door pretty quickly. So we've now had, from this sale, again, because of the Hyundai, another car in stock, which is going to make us a very nice margin. But it doesn't end there. You see, what happened was then on the Saturday, when we're out and about and we're selling these cars and we're doing really well on Saturday, we had a good Saturday, the customer comes in, or at least the partner, the husband, came in started having a word with us. Now, he didn't come in the car, which I thought was a bit strange, but he did come to have a word with us. And without going into too many details, effectively, he was basically saying that his partner, his wife, I assume it's his wife, basically now doesn't like the car and basically now wants us to buy it back. And that puts me in a rather awkward position. Bear in mind, he's also now gone out and bought another car, which he's taking delivery of this Friday. Not from us, from another dealership, a lot newer car. So I think basically she just didn't like the fact that she maybe wanted an older car and she maybe wanted something newer. Although she seemed very happy when she bought the car in, and even when she came in with the Peugeot, she seemed really happy. She'd even named the car. So I didn't see this conversation coming at all. But whatever has happened, I don't know. They just don't want the car anymore. And they asked me to buy it back. Now that puts me in a really awkward position because it's the same conversation that I effectively have had with customer number one. And I've explained to the situation, look, I can't buy the car back. I can't give you a refund. There's nothing wrong with the car. If you just don't like the car, that's not really anything down to me. Bit of a deja vu going on here. Now, what I could have done was done the same principle again and say to the customer, look, if you want me to resell it for you and go through all this, I can do that again. Obviously, they weren't aware of customer number one, they'd gone through that, but I could offer that out to him again. But no sooner was I able to even come to that, well, think about it and decide I wanted to do that and offer that out to the customer, they basically just turned around and said, look, if you give me £1,500 back for the car, I'm happy. Now you can imagine my surprise to this because in my head I'm thinking, hang on a minute, you've had the car for not even a week and you're willing to give up £1,400 for effectively hiring a car for 5 days. I mean, just crazy. I mean, it is, honestly, it is just crazy. And half of me is thinking in my head, I'm just thinking, grab this man's hand and just get him paid and get the car back off him. I have had some strange characters on this pitch since I've been here, and I'm always wary thinking, do you know what? I need to vet this properly and make sure this isn't some rash decision, but you have to go through those motions, make sure the checks are right, and make sure someone's not going to, cause an issue further down the line or come in kicking off or saying, you've had me over, blah, blah, blah. At the end of the day, I have done nothing wrong here. I've sold the car to the customer. He doesn't like it. There's nothing I can do. I can't make the guy like, or his wife, like the car. And in fairness too, if I was actually buying the car in at the gate, £1,500, to be honest with you, would be roughly what you'd pay for this car in part exchange trade. That's what it would do in an auction. That's what you'd be roughly looking to pay for it. Bear in mind, it has only done 40,000 miles. I know it's 59 plate, but it is very low mileage. So I'm basically taking to the customer and saying, look, if you want me to do that, I can. But I'm basically telling him everything. Look, if you want to go and sell that car privately, that's what I would be doing. I would advise you to go and sell it privately. I'm effectively trying to push him away, do everything I can. In my mind, I'm hoping he doesn't, but I am willingly trying to help him to say, look, go and sell it privately. Don't lose that much money. Don't go down this route. Perhaps maybe you should think again. He just wasn't interested. He wants his money. He wanted it back as soon as possible. He wanted it done. He wanted to draw a line over it. He didn't really even seem to care that he was willing to blow that amount of cash. So I've gone through all these motions, I've done everything I can, and we basically parted and said, look, if you want me to buy the car back, fine. I'll buy it back at that price. I'm happy to pay that, obviously. Come back in the week, and if you change your mind in the meantime, I completely understand, and I cannot urge you enough to go back and maybe look and think again. Wasn't interested, went away, and then they came back this morning, today's Monday, but the lady came in, I explained again, look, I spoke to your partner, you're aware of this, what's happening, you understand this, I've given him all these options. No, yeah, fine, no problem, we just want some money. And you're like, what? Fine, no problem, let's have the money. So I basically got paid out, and it's probably the quickest car I've ever put on sale in my life, literally, because it was mint. Just cleaned it, washed it quickly, quick hoover out, turned it around, back on sale, at pretty much the same price it was originally. I mean, I have never, ever had a deal like that. I mean, I've had deals where I bought one car and then I've sold it and got part X and sold that and got another part X and sold that and got another part X. I think I ended up like 5 in a row off one car. So obviously sort of kept flipping them and getting these part exchanges and making money out of them. I've had that happen to me before, but I've never had a situation where you buy a car back at pretty much half its value for less than, 5 days, and also get another car off them at decent trade value, which you can make money out of. I just no. Like winning a lottery, or the pools maybe. Let's say the pools. But honestly now, let me know your thoughts on that I-10. What would you have done in the situation? I don't think really that I should feel bad about it, to be fair, because at the end of the day, I'm a businessman. I'm here to make money. And if someone is willingly wanting to sell you a car back for a set price, and you try everything possible to persuade them otherwise to do that, I mean, if he doesn't sell it to me, he's going to sell it to someone else, and they're not going to try and sway him away. They're going to rip his hands off. And the reality, obviously, I want to do that, but I do have a conscience. So I'm trying to help him and say, look, this is probably not the smartest of moves. Are you really sure about this? I can't do much more, other than literally just turn around and say, no, I'm not buying it. But then my, obviously, brain kicks in, my entrepreneurial side, and thinks, well, no, like I just said before, someone else will buy it. So if the man just will not have it and wants to get the car sold and wants to sell it for this price, you might as well be the benefactor of it. That's my theory, but let me know if you think I'm an absolute bastard in the comments. Please let me know your thoughts on that one. So anyway, guys, thank you for watching this one. I'm back at the auctions this week, so we're doing some more filming. So we've got plenty of auction content coming out in June, and I've also got some other types of videos that I'm working on as well. So lots of stuff to come out, as always, on the Car UK channel. So if you haven't done so, please like and subscribe to the channel because it helps me out immensely. Thanks again, and I'll see you all in the next one.